Just gonna share my heart for a little bit out here on my porch. A lot of things going on in the world. I don't usually do stuff like this, but I think I'm gonna start to. Nike, football, Kaepernick, wicked police, and racism. It's so sad that people are so easily swindled by the media to pick one side as being the end all be all rather than sticking with the facts. I'm gonna start with Nike. It's really honorable that a large multi-billion-dollar company would support such a controversial and unpopular stance. Kaepernick isn't even playing football right now. And to support this man for taking a knee during the Pledge of Allegiance, not to be against the military, not to disrespect the military, which he's been very clear about, but his way of expressing an injustice that's going on in America, which we should have the liberty in America, it's called freedom of speech, to express ourselves and protest in any way we see fit, as long as we're not violating the rights of others. If we're not murdering people, if we're not looting, if we're not burning things. Colin Kaepernick is not breaking the law by taking a knee. But Nike, I give Nike props for this. But I'm beyond words when I look on my page, on my personal page, which I mostly have people who are religious, people who are believers in the Bible, okay, Christians and Israelites. It is disgusting to me when I see people posting that they're throwing out their Nike clothes and their Nike gear because of the stance that Nike is taking. That's disgusting to me. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for people who are Bible believers, people who are not supposed to be racist, people who are supposed to love justice, love righteousness, to be getting involved with this side of the issue. Some of them will paint it with patriotism. It's Kaepernick is disrespecting the flag. He is not. He is protesting against an injustice that is happening in America under the flag that represents this country. That's what he's doing. He has the freedom to do that. For you to be against this issue is to be against what he's protesting, not anything above and beyond that, because that's not what he's doing. That's really disgusting, I have to say. Above and beyond that, I would say, where in the world were these people who are mad about Nike now? These believers, Bible believers, with the fact that Nike has a pagan symbol on it. The pagan origins of Nike should be the utmost, more important thing that believers in the Bible should be protesting. Where were you then? Why are you wearing clothing of something that comes from pagan origins that goes against 100% of your beliefs? Where were you then? Where were your protests? Why weren't you protesting them? Why all of a sudden, when there becomes an issue with racism, you pick a side and now you're against Nike because they choose a side of justice and fairness? That's disgusting to me. Shame on all of you who are getting involved in this. Football. First of all, football in and of itself I'm talking about the professional NFL football league and sports in general, let's be honest, is saturated and filled with idolatry, vanity. Let's be honest. It's filled with it. It's all over the place. The fact that people would be making so much money to do what we do as children and as recreation, to me, doesn't make sense that believers in the scriptures would be such fans of sports and entertainment. Okay? So that's first and foremost. However, outside of that, I'm not against athletics. I'm not against physical fitness. I'm not against recreational fun activities. And I personally, I watch highlights. I enjoy it, but I don't promote it. I don't put highlights on my Facebook feeds. I don't publicly like talking about sports, because I don't think it deserves that much honor and respect. But this is a really ugly situation with this situation, this Kaepernick situation. It just shows the heart of a big majority of the population of the United States, and probably worldwide. Where were your protests against the idolatry? I'm talking to believers in the Bible. Where were your protests against the sexual immorality promoted by sports and entertainment? Where is your protest with women being immodest, cheerleaders, dancing, promiscuity? Where's your protest with the promotion of beer and all these other substances that there's so much drunkenness involved with sports? And I mean, I can go on and on. The idolatry, the vanity, the financial, the love of money. It's, let alone, I mean, they don't keep the Sabbath. They don't keep the Sabbath. Everyone's working on a Saturday. So for those of you who are Torah observant, more of a reason why we shouldn't be promoting professional sports and entertainment. They don't keep the commandments of Yahuwah. They don't deserve to be given a platform on our social media pages. Okay, you gonna go inside? You gonna stay out here with me? Okay. So that's what I gotta say about that so far. Where are the protests then? I see a lot of mostly Caucasian. It's sad to say, mostly Caucasian. They promote sports, they promote Bible believers. I'm talking about. I don't care about unbelievers right now. That's not my concern. I'm talking to people who believe in the Bible. You know, the world's gonna do all types of stuff. I expect them to be unjust and wicked, but if you're a Bible believer, you should know better. You should definitely know better. You shouldn't be getting involved with this racism stuff. You should stand up for what is right, period. Nobody is saying, let me get to Kaepernick. Nobody is protesting. He's not protesting all police. Okay? He understands, we understand that there are great police out there who work with integrity and honor. And these are the people who are protecting our cities, and we need more of them. That's common sense, and that for you to think that Kaepernick is against all police is absurd, because he has constantly made it very clear that he is not. This has to do with police who are unjust and who are getting away with murder, being confused with manslaughter, from young children to old people. This needs to be dealt with in a just way. Police need to be punished the way any citizen would be punished. I think it is very unjust that there is favoritism when it comes to police officers, that their consequences aren't as severe as a normal citizen. I think that needs to change in the United States of America. I think that needs to change all over the world. They're human, and they're citizens of the United States. And if they do something illegal that is illegal for the whole nation, that is illegal for every citizen, they deserve the same punishment. The death penalty, long time in prison, whatever it may be. Matter of fact, their consequence should be even more severe, because they should have more accountability and be more held responsible, because they have a high position, because they're supposed to be the protectors of our people. So this needs to change in the United States of America. And Colin Kaepernick is taking a stance. He's utilizing his freedom of speech in a very non-violent way, and there should be nothing wrong with that. Now let me talk about taking a knee. I personally won't take a knee. I'm going to tell you why I won't take a knee. Because taking a knee is close to bowing down. I'm not bowing to no flag. To me, taking a knee is worse than standing. I'd rather stand than take a knee. That's me personally. If you read in the scriptures in the book of Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar, the pagan Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, built a big tall statue of himself and wanted all the citizens to bow down to the statue. Every time they played music, they wanted them to bow down to the idol. And Daniel didn't bow down. He stayed standing. And his 3 brothers, they stayed standing. And what was the consequence? They got thrown into the fiery furnace. So I'm not bowing down to a knee. To me, that is a whole lot worse. All right, I'm talking about, I'm gonna be very probably politically incorrect, because I'm taking we gotta stand up for what is right, period. Now, if he wants to take a knee, hey, let him take a knee. At first he was sitting down, nobody was saying anything, but all of a sudden he takes a knee and people start going crazy about it. Then they start publicizing and it became an issue. Anyway, I ain't taking no knee for no flag. I stand, and that's about all I do. I don't put my hand on my heart. I don't repeat the pledge, because I don't believe in the pledge. I don't pledge my allegiance to the flag. That's idolatry to me. That is against my faith. That is against my religion. I pledge my allegiance to Yahuwah, the creator of the universe. That's my pledge. I don't pledge allegiance to no man. I don't pledge allegiance to no country. I don't pledge allegiance to no people. I don't pledge allegiance to nobody but my creator and my wife. That's the only person I pledge allegiance to, is my wife and my creator. That's it. I'm not pledging allegiance to nothing else. So that's where I stand with that. And racism. Listen, we got to stand up for what is right. What is right, and what is wrong. You don't have to assume that people are saying something else that they're not saying. All we're saying is, stop the injustice. I'm going to talk about something else. Talking about racism. Why isn't there more protests from the black American people against black on black crime? Where are the protests for the gang violence and the black on black crime? If you look at the statistics, more black people are killing black people than white people are killing black people. We need to talk about this. I want to see more protests about this. I want to see more people out in the streets. I want to see more movement. So, if you're going to address one side of racism, let's address it all, especially coming from colored people in this country. Let's be just, let's be righteous about it. But that's all I wanted to say. I've been motivated by seeing posts from people who are believers in the scriptures saying they're throwing out their Nike gear because of the Colin Kaepernick commercial that went out. To me, that is, it just, if that doesn't show the heart of racism, whether they're blind, maybe they're blind to it, maybe they really think they're not racist, and subconsciously they really are. But to me, it's like clear as day. There is racism in that soul. There is racism in that mind. There is racism in that heart against people of color. It might not be in the forefront, but it's in the back of their mind. When I'm reading posts, I just can't believe I'm reading it. And there's no point in debating, because when it's situations like this, it's so emotional. It's so intense. You know, most people, you know, you got to be real mature to be able to sit down and really discuss this in a mature manner. But when people are all emotional, usually discussions don't go really well. But let's just talk about the facts. Let's not get caught up in exaggerating. Nobody's saying go around go around shoot the military men. Nobody's saying, oh, I disrespect the military men. Nobody's saying that. That has nothing, that the kneeling to the flag has nothing to do with that. I don't even know who came up with the standard that pledging allegiance to the flag is allegiance to the military. I don't know who came up with that. I don't remember that being a fact. So anyway, I'm not bound down to no flag. I'm not pledging allegiance to no flag. I pledge allegiance to my Creator. But if somebody wants to protest the injustice that's going on in America, police brutality, okay, in general, whether it's white on black brutality or whether it's white on white brutality or black on black brutality, because that happens too. There's black police brutally beating unjustly and killing people that they shouldn't be killing, and shooting people that they shouldn't be shooting. The topic in general needs to be fixed in America. Okay, we need to get wicked police out of the system. We need to get them out immediately. So there's got to be a better accountability process. I think I heard something on the radio where they're planning on having some kind of outside organization that's an accountability over the police. That would be great, you know, if it works well, and if the people are not paid and have some kind of a attachment or strings attached. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Just get that off my chest. I care about these matters. I don't promote sports anymore on my social media because my beliefs have matured, and there's too much idolatry and vanity and promiscuity and all types of stuff, drunkenness, and it's just not worth me promoting. Do I like athletics? Yes, I love it. I love athletics. I love agility, durability, strength. I love all that. I love all that, and I'm for that. But anyway, let's stay sober-minded, please, and let's be fair and talk about every side of the matter. Don't just stick to one. Don't let the media trick you, because the media does a lot of race baiting. That's their goal. Their goal is to get people to fight against each other. They're good at that. They're not very good at talking about all points on the matter. It's either you have this side talking about this side, or that side talking about that side. And that's called race baiting. Rather than getting people with different sides together in one table to discuss all the matters of the issue and be fair. So don't get caught up in it, brothers and sisters, and those who believe in the Bible, okay? You should know better. Don't get caught up with this mess. That's all I got to say. Shalom. Have a good rest of the day.